What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to a brand new video. And today we are going to be reacting to Battlefield 1942, the first Battlefield. We're going to be doing this because Battlefield 6 beta has just come out. Such a great beta, so fun. Week 2 is happening as well, so I thought, here's an idea. Let me go down through the entire franchise leading up to Battlefield 6, because obviously the soundtrack hasn't released yet. They're going to be releasing obviously when the game comes out. So hang on, let me react to some of the OG Battlefields leading up to Battlefield 6. So without further ado, we're going to get into that. But before that, I want to make a quick little announcement, or not an announcement per se, but a quick update to keep you guys in the loop, because the content hasn't been, consistent. There's been videos here, videos there. Now, as you know, I do have a lot of personal things going on, and uh, some developments within the personal life have started to happen. As you know, I'm going to be taking some courses, some classes as well to become a lecturer in the near future, teaching music, teaching film. Um, and I'm in the next step. What I'm doing right now is I'm with an agency, and they're going to be getting me some work, some experience, while I'm doing the courses to get my necessary degrees in order to teach. Um, so obviously content is going to be not consistent, but thank you so much for the support anyway. It has been great. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about me being a lecturer, teaching music. I cannot wait. I'm excited. But without further ado, we have a video to get down to, and it's Battlefield 1942. So let's go. So 2 minutes and 40, and there is quite a bit to break down. But I feel like it doesn't necessarily have the epicness that future Battlefield scores had. This is very World War II feely. I'll explain. So the bass kicks in. So we have that motif. Na 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 na. You know, we have that motif, right? That kind of repetitive nature. Then it goes into the strings. The strings come in. Then we have the dum dum. So it's building the war feel, which is great. Setting up the tension, the mystery with these strings here. Just where this heading. So the kind of the bass comes in again. You know, the low went no no no. You know, that comes in. But if you notice that it's a tremolo, it's because it's building to something, right? It's building to a bit of actionness. The little rumble there, the little rumble again, just adding in the layers to make it more feel like boots on the ground, like war, like this is war. The percussion, the grit is there. No, I imagine like scenes like, you know, the history of like World War II, like in color, you know, those types of stuff, like this playing over, you know, cars driving through cities or cities being destroyed. Like I imagine that, like it is a very paint by brush, like World War II, sonically a narrative. But again, using the tactics, tremolo, stingers, a fall shot, like a fall shot technique. Just adding in layers to this now. Normally, I would say minimalist, like minimal wise. Like, if you can create a soundtrack that doesn't have a really lot of layers, that's a skill. In some cases, well, you need to add in the layers, and I feel like if you're creating like you know, a Saving Private Ryan theme or Battlefield theme or any type of theme to do with like action or war, you have to add in those layers because of the effects as well, and the certain instrumentation you're using. It requires it. So this is the motif now, right? So this is probably what you would hear in the main menu, loading in, dun, 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 dun. Like this now is what I mean, like boots on the ground. Like, you know, Battlefield has always been that boots on the ground, like not ultra, but like military simulator to some extent. You know, so having a theme that purpose like really encapsulates that it is what it is. You know. And I'm not saying like this is a bad thing. I'm just saying that it's so because it's Battlefield 1942, right? The first game. There is kind of an approach to this of maybe they were inspired by like the history of World War Two, or they were inspired by like war, and maybe they were documenting like documentaries, and like this would feel like if I'm watching a documentary and I'm seeing a bit like of action sequence, like Dunkirk or something like that. This would feel like a song that would fit that, running through the streets, boots on the ground. It would feel that. It's very hopeful in some areas, but yeah, it's like boots on the ground. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, so don't get me at the comments. I'm just saying that when I'm listening to this is how I feel. Like it is just a paint of just like World War through sound. The action anyway. What I love as well is the cellos getting involved, the trumpets is getting involved, the percussion is rising. It's not just da, 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 like it's got that hopeful war feel, like everything's gonna be all right. And even through the act three, there just the strings coming in and it's just rising the stakes. I imagine the rising in stakes is like flying in the planes, because you can in Battlefield, you could fly in planes. Again, like if I'm listening to this flying a plane, like it's just so much immersion. It's such a great soundtrack for immersion as well. And notice as well how the strings have this kind of like this little kind of dip in their dynamics as well. It's not just in their tonality. It's like like the players are hitting it in such a way there's almost got like a curve in their notation. And again, technically the like dynamics with strings, it's so crucial. I talk about it in like every single video. Strings, if you're thinking orchestra, classical music, dynamics and expression. What I love about this part here as well is like there's kind of like two stingers. So one around about like 150, like it ends, but it ends in such a stinger, and then it just goes quiet. Like first time in a while that they allow the instruments to fade out. So just a one kind of like an off note, there's like a little shaker transition that's like that, and then it's like they add in like an off note that sets this transition up. What I think about this pass, like danger, like mission abort, let's retreat, you know. What I think this symbolizes is the eeriness, the tension. 1 minute in war, everything can feel hopeful, and just with a snap like that, it can change, and it feels mysterious. It feels eerie. It feels almost scary, like a horror movie. Like you're looking out in a battlefield and you just see horror. This is what I feel like this part of the soundtrack like is supposed to encapsulate. Plucking of the strings, not not full out long form string notations, just plucking. Now we're plucking along with like a heavy deep bass. Yeah, plucking of the strings, leaving the eerie message. We have the whole motif in that battlefield. You know the motif, but again, even that motif is played a little bit eerie, a little bit like don't remember who you're fighting for. You know, in in that sense. But ladies and gentlemen, this has been my Battlefield 1942 uh, breakdown. Let me know in the comments what makes Battlefield fun for you. Did you play Battlefield 6, the open beta? It's week 2 coming up tomorrow on Thursday. Let me know if you've been playing that, what you think about it. Let me know if you want me to react to anything Battlefield. Let me know what you think about this Battlefield 1942. Without further ado, make sure you hit that subscribe. Even though the videos have been very sparse, but I do enjoy breaking these down for you guys. Uh, Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you leave a like. And until next time, bye bye.